Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Legendary Heroes podcast number...
Six.
No, is it six? I don't know. Well,
yeah.
This one, we're kind of turning things around a little bit. From now on, I think we're going to do a 30-minute podcast. This is Joe's idea. A 30-minute podcast, a lot more focused, so that way you guys have a little bit more interesting stuff. And, hey, what's that noise? That's music. It's music in fact. It's going to be music from now on. We don't hear any music, but I'm assuming you do if we remember.
It's very catchy. I'm snapping.
Oh, yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
Anyway. You won't have any more of Joe and me singing Nintendo songs, which may be sad for some of you.
What music should we put in?
Should be.
Yeah.
I
was just thinking of putting like Super Smash music in the background, but then I'm like, meh.
We could do that. It's epic.
Yeah.
It's good for background music.
Yeah.
I have like a whole backlog of good background songs that I use for Bag of Holdings.
Oh yeah.
So I can give you some of those. But anyway.
Wait. Joe,
yeah.
before we go on, Joe, in your newest video, what music were you using in the background? It was pretty good.
It's Brahms' theme. Like, it's one of the two characters with mustaches. It's his theme song. So it's like really Russian and manly.
Yeah, I was thinking of putting stuff like that too.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had themes at all. Or is it like fan-made themes or?
No, they're like after a certain point they started releasing them with their own theme song because they put like the character on the login screen and then theme song.
Okay, well this, speaking of memorable characters, this is the Protagonist podcast, talking about what makes a good protagonist. And to start off, we're going to do our top 5, limited to 5 minutes this time, so we don't go way over like we did the last podcast where we did the top 5 for 35 minutes. And we're going to do top 5 of our favorite protagonists, or playable characters, rather.
And what would be the criteria for this?
Okay, yeah. So this has to be like a solid character that the game has like set. So it can't be someone that you have custom made, and it can't be someone that you have a great deal of influence over. And because of how our top 5 went last week, I'm limiting it to one Nintendo character, like main party Nintendo character, because I think that's fair.
Yeah.
And then
I'm just gonna start off. Could I start off?
What?
Are you gonna say?
Does this include silent protagonists?
It can if you think that they're compelling. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say Master Chief just because he set like.
I knew that. I had that
in
the same. I had the same idea.
I had a feeling Master Chief was gonna come up.
So he's definitely epic.
Yeah. What do you like about him?
I like how he is a character that you can like put yourself into, but at the same time he does have his own personality, and he is really like just the few words badass, and he really just runs around destroying everything. Yeah.
Just a buff, badass dude who has
just
really
like Die Hard.
with a sexy companion.
He gets the shit done.
And what about you, Harcos? You said you had one?
Yeah, Sly Cooper from the Sly Cooper franchise.
Yes. That's a good one.
Because I feel like he has a really strong personality, and not only that, he has like a lot of supporting characters in the cast as well. So like he's really loyal to his friends. I don't know. I really appreciated that as a kid.
And that's a very non-traditional protagonist too, because he's like a thief.
A non-traditional protagonist from a non-traditional gaming franchise. It's like
such a good
have
franchise.
you ever seen anything else like the Sly Cooper franchise?
It's infamous, but then not quite as good.
Yeah.
But still with the references. But I think mine is, or at least my first one, since we have to fill in 2 more, that's gonna be a nightmare. Mine is gonna be, I forgot. Crap. Solid Snake, or sorry, not Solid Snake, Big Boss from Metal Gear franchise, because he is a protagonist, but he's not a hero. Yet I still find him really compelling.
Oh.
And that's like one of those, like he's kind of a dark protagonist kind of guy.
I'm in the position where I just don't know who that is.
You don't? Oh, well, Big Boss is like in the main series games. For the most part, you control Solid Snake, who is like the son of Big Boss. Spoiler alert. I mean, everybody knows that, so it's not a big deal. But and so Solid Snake's one guy. He's like clearly a hero, but then in the third game and in every game they've made after the fourth one, which were all prequels, you control Big Boss like back before he was like a super big bad guy, because he was like the main boss of the first Metal Gear game.
Mm-hmm.
So you control him before all of that, and you get to see what made him become who he was. So
is he just like Snake, kind of? Like, does he control like Snake?
Well, yeah, because Snake's a clone of Big Boss. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they like are almost exactly the same in terms of traits and like personalities, but Big Boss like takes a darker turn, and sort of it's just really cool to watch how the character develops, and you're still relating to him because he's got that same kind of exterior. So I think he's a really cleverly made character. But
yeah, that's cool.
So who else do we want to throw up there?
We could throw up
gonna say
Link.
Yeah, Link.
Yeah. Okay.
I had a feeling that was going to be one. That's why I was like, yeah, one Nintendo character. By that I mean Link.
Pretty much exactly the reasons of Master Chief.
He's just like a silent protagonist as well, but
you can still kind of see his personality.
Yeah.
Like, you know that he is not cut out for most of the games that he's in, but he does it anyway because he's brave. So.
And I like how like they have similar traits in all the characters, all the iterations of Link, but all the iterations of Link are also sometimes different. Like for example, like in Toon Link, he's more like, I don't know, he has more of a personality than the other ones.
Yeah. Okay. I think if I had to specify for my favorite, it probably would be Toon Link.
Yeah.
Because he is definitely like, he's not he wasn't a hero in the beginning. He became one because he was determined.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's really cool. Whereas like some of the other ones, you could kind of see how they like already were at that status. But actually, no, that's not quite true. A lot of them came from nothing, so that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like how literal it is with Link, silent protagonist, in that he literally never says a single thing, or at least that you see. Like, he does talk to other people, but you don't see like a chat box. Like, they kind of just respond.
I like to think that they just assume like he's never actually talking. Like,
he's just like looking at them, and they're just like getting the idea somehow.
Like, yeah, I get it.
Like, Master Chief has his one-liners,
like Chewbacca,
like, just nothing.
Yeah, like Chewbacca.
He's like Chewbacca.
He's like, Rah! Wah!
And they're like, you're right, Link. We have to go save the princess.
It's like a parrot. Okay, so who's number 5? I
5.
Does anyone have initial ideas? Because I think I kind of have one. I'm just not sure if he's my favorite, but he just kind of popped into mind when I was thinking about Big Boss. Joel from The Last of Us.
Joel from Last of Us. There you go.
Because he is not a good guy. Again, I really like that they have. He's not a good guy. You don't really have control over his actions. You're just kind of forced to.
I like how
he does.
He's not the traditional like survivor, or he's not the traditional protagonist for that genre. He's not like the like.
He's not like Rick or something.
He's not like the golden-hearted leader, you know?
Yeah.
You know.
I was gonna say Sonic, but I mean, he did like create his own genre in the speed genre. But considering how dead he is today,
yeah.
My favorite
Smash Brothers,
Sonic Adventure Battle 2.
That was my favorite.
That was my favorite one, dude. I probably beat that over. Dude, I probably beat Sonic Adventure Battle 2, like the missions, like 5 times over, along with Sly Cooper for games 1, 2, and 3 5 times over.
Yeah, that game's awesome. I was obsessed with raising my
shells. Yeah,
put
so much time into that.
Yeah.
My sister, she like learned how to make like god shells, and she just like breeded them. What the hell, you go?
That was the way to do it. Like I don't remember how many times I went into my memory card, deleted my Chow Garden just to start anew, just because it was fun. Like that was a good game.
Yeah. So
I wonder why they don't do that again, but. Me.
I don't know, just because the creators of Sonic's just like went full retard.
Have you seen the new Sonic Boom that's coming out? I think.
I
don't remember what it is.
Sonic's.
I don't know why they changed the style, but it's weird looking. It's
really?
just disturbing.
They changed
it.
Is it a case of like Sly 3 and Sly 4 where they just changed it? They completely changed the cartoon style?
What the hell is this?
No. Yeah, are you seeing it now?
That's so weird.
We'll put it up on the screen. It's like, Harcos, you should Google it real quick. It's like called Sonic Boom.
Okay.
I think.
Oh, it's like, why? Why did you do that?
It's horrifying. They look so gross. Especially Knuckles.
Looks so. Yeah. Oh my god. That looks freaking weird, dude.
Ah! What the hell? Knuckles is like a. Tails looks exactly the same, but
I kind of like what they did with Tails, but then Oh,
Why does everyone
Knuckles.
have a scarf these days?
Yeah.
Sonic
Who
has a
is that
scarf.
fifth
Link
person?
has a scarf. What's with scarves?
Who's
Third-
this little fox?
It's not
person?
too different, okay? I got over the original reaction, but
But you wanted to vomit it first, right?
yeah, okay.
It's like an action game.
I
now.
actually had a mid-good reaction. I didn't know if that was actually real or if I actually faked it.
All right, so that's an example of how to not develop your protagonist. Let's talk about what makes a good one. Like
Hey,
what we really like to see in a protagonist.
Yeah, sure.
Oh wait, I guess what was our top 5 again? We have Master Chief, Link, Big Boss, Joel, and
Sly Cooper.
Sly Cooper. That's right. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a really good list.
Yeah.
That's
Who's-
not as derivative as our normal.
I'm proud of
list.
how original it is. You know?
Yeah.
Good protagonist.
But then we Google top 5 protagonists. It's like those 5. We're like, shit.
Shit. Okay, so what makes a good protagonist, though?
Why do we like these characters that we love?
Personality.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say yes, that, but doing something right and then keeping it that way, like Sonic isn't doing.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, you
not
need a
changing your
character to
character
be
for no
consistent.
yeah.
Not to say that they never change, but that you should have at least with Sonic the general design. This should
something
be-
that won't make you gag.
Yeah, that's awful.
His legs are so long now.
And B,
Yeah.
on top of that, like it's okay for a character to change over time, but it doesn't make any sense for a character to do something that is completely contradictory to their personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of a jarring moment there. I can't think of an example in games right away, but do we think that game protagonists have to follow the same rules as like what makes a protagonist in literature or film the great too?
Yeah, because it's all comes down to plot and story, you know.
But what happens when you involve like a player into it? Like how does that change the way that you should approach a character?
Interact. Well, the only difference between the mediums is that in video games you can interact with the characters. It's just, I don't know. I don't think so. I think plot and story are still like a major thing that should not be tampered with when it switches over to the video game medium.
Mhm.
I feel.
I think it's different because instead of reading about a character, you are the character. So that kind of grants like a little bit more freedom in that they can be like unrealistic. That's what I think.
Well, I guess I'm thinking like when you involve a person's choice into the game. Like what I was saying with Joel earlier, you don't have any choice over what Joel does, really. I mean, you can choose minor things like in terms of gameplay, but in terms of the story and Joel's actions, you have no control over it. You just are forced to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they give you a goal, they're like, "Sorry, there's no alternative, because this is what Joel is doing." And you
I was
are
thinking
Joel.
more of like a Link protagonist, where like it really is just you.
Yeah,
like,
those are two
stuff.
very different approaches. And
Because but Joel is a very strong character, and Link is more of a
malleable. It's malleable.
You can like, well, not portray like, project yourself onto the protagonist because he is both silent. Like when we were kids, like in Ocarina of Time, we all played it. You always like you invested in the story because you just like wanted to portray yourself as this hero of the land, you know?
Yeah, so maybe there are two different approaches
Mm-hmm.
where you either have to have a character who's really good on his own, or a character that's really easy to project yourself onto.
Right. I think that is like the choice in making a game.
But you
Do
can also,
you want what?
I'm sorry. You go on.
Now go ahead. I forgot.
You can also see that in movies as well. Like for Indiana Jones, for example, everybody wants to be Indiana Jones. You want, you know.
Yeah, but he's also very strong by himself, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, like Harrison Ford is always kind of that actor who allows a person to see what they want to see in him. I think because he's not Harrison Ford. Like as much praise as he gets, honestly, he like is a pretty like nondescript actor. I think sometimes. I mean, he's a great actor, but at the same time, I don't know. There's like a certain personality about him that seems malleable to what you want it to be. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think he can
that.
just be himself and then play many characters because that's who he is. But anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
By the way, one thing that I don't always like, I love Link, of course, but there's one thing that I don't always like about him is that some of the games don't really show him having like a flaw, if you know what I mean. And I think a flaw is very important in a character. Like that's classic literature.
He lacks depth.
That's
and that's not true for all games because in, like we were saying with Toon Link, who Wind Waker Link. Wind Waker Link.
Oh crap! My air conditioner.
Oh Jesus! What was that?
Okay.
Sorry.
You okay?
Yeah, my air conditioner just went off.
Shit, I forgot what I was saying.
In Toon Link, he has depth.
Right. Like just the very first like scenes of the game when he's like when his sister's being taken away and the Helmrock King is taking her away and he like just charges after with no thought. Like he is not. That's when you realize this is a kid. This is a kid who doesn't know what he's doing. He just has to anyway.
Link in Twilight Princess also has that like hastiness and lack of thinking about him. Because at the beginning of Twilight Princess, like Leah gets like bashed in the head or like shot with an arrow or something.
Oh yeah, he just
freaks out and he just like rushes into the Twilight Realm. So it's kind of
he's brash. Yeah, he's very brash.
I could say like Ocarina tells you more of the story, and a lot of like Twilight Princess and Wind Waker like to show you the story instead.
Link is socially awkward in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
I can agree that Link doesn't really have many flaws that are obvious or like build character in Ocarina of Time. So maybe that is something that makes a good character, a good protagonist. Just flaws.
Yeah, like again, like a lot of the characters we mentioned, like I don't know, does Sly Cooper have a flaw? I'm not sure. Because he's like just kind of
he's too loyal to his friends to the point where people can take advantage of him.
Okay. That's fair. That's a good, See, that's another thing. Flaws don't have to be like purely negative too. Because there are a lot of people say that like good people, quote unquote, in literature and stuff like that is unrealistic. I don't think that's true because there are obviously good people. So I don't really get why people have to be like, no, he has to be an adulterer. No, he has to have killed someone or have guilt or something. Or they could just be like so devoted to what they do that they're kind of blinded to other things, That's not inherently bad, but it can if it's exploited.
Yeah, totally.
I feel like maybe we've reached the end of that thread.
What?
Shall we go back to the original question and come up with something?
Sorry, my bad.
It's no problem.
Yeah, I guess personality too really makes the character, going with flaws like if a character has a strong personality, that sort of makes them memorable as well because they're sort of real.
Yeah, but that's also like on the half of a playable character that has to be a strong character on their own and not someone who you like Link. Like I don't think Link really has to have a strong personality because you put yourself onto him,
True. What is that noise, by the way?
Oh, that's my friend.
Oh, sorry.
It should be fun.
I was just kind of thinking, like, do we feel like a character has to have like a certain level of intelligence? Because come to think of it, I don't really know. I can't think of any character in any game that doesn't have like a certain amount of wit or a capacity for like a high capacity for abstract thought or thinking. Like, I can't think of a character that's just like brute brawn, force, or dumb, or something like that.
Like, there's Duke Nukem, but Duke Nukem is a bad character, I think.
Duke Nukem's a very bad character.
Yeah, I think it's more of a parody,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Duke Nukem's a parody.
Makes fun of it.
Yeah, we should talk about that. What makes a bad protagonist?
Okay. Well, perfection for one thing, I think. We just kind of went over that a little bit.
Yeah, like Duke Nukem just charging through everything and murdering everything in his path.
Yeah, shallow. That's very shallow and unengaging of a protagonist if they're just perfect,
Oh, I just thought of one. If they lack motivation. I think that's one of the reasons that Destiny didn't grip me at all. I felt completely uninspired. I was like, why am I doing this? What's happening? Why is Peter Dinklage talking to me in a monotone voice?
Why do I have to keep grinding my face against the wall? I don't,
There was no clear motivation in the game. It was like, you have to stop the darkness. Have fun. Go on raids.
Yeah, it's like the budget all went into like gameplay, and then there's like,
And
oh,
then
we have to put a
sucked, too.
story in. And they just got the guy who has like ADHD in the corner. It's like, you make a story quick. It's like
He's like,
5 minutes
the
before
darkness
launch.
tried to came, and it was like, oh, there's like a bunch of brutes from Halo. I mean, there's a bunch of Covenant. I mean, there's a just a random Bungie guy.
Are we talking about Destiny?
Yeah, sorry. I know we always keep bashing on that game, but it's so easy to do.
It's so true, though. It's like, oh, let's just come up with as many aliens as we can. Like, there's a robotic kind. There's just big eyeballs. Like, what?
And there's got to be lasers.
Laser beams. Eyeballs shooting lasers.
Well,
Let's.
So
Can we
maybe
think of like a character that doesn't have like direct conflict?
Doesn't
you know
have
what I mean?
conflict.
Like there's a lot of all the ones we've been talking about are very traditional storylines. You know, like there's a villain, there's something that needs to be done, and then you do it, and that's the goal is to get the character to the end. But what about a game that's not like that at all, but still has compelling protagonists, like something like Journey, something like that?
Journey. What was
I was gonna say maybe like original Mario Bros. I mean, like we all love Mario, but like
you still have
there's really no.
You still have that beginning end like complex.
You still have a goal, yeah. Your goal is still to save Peach. Like that's a super.
Oh yeah.
Also, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. There's a lot of games that aren't traditional like that, but like Animal Crossing, like we can't apply the same rules to a game like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I think you have to.
But
like
Animal Crossing is like you don't.
Though.
Yeah, there's not. We have to avoid that though because there's no clear protagonist. It's a custom character.
There's no clear story either.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Although I do have
That's
to
just
say,
kind of like a sandbox.
Yeah, I do have to say that game has amazing characters though. I do love the characters in Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
I love the art style definitely.
Yeah, I played the original on the GameCube with my. Just side note, me and my friends, we had like four different houses because.
Yeah, on the same one.
Yeah, me, my brother, and my cousins. So we would always fight over who can play Animal Crossing for like an entire.
Who can get
summer.
all the loot for the day?
Yeah.
So we have to agree that like this only applies to traditional storylines.
So yeah, it can't apply to like characters from DayZ standalone. It can't apply to people from Skyrim, like your main protagonist, because yeah, they're just like the protagonists are shallow because purposely so you can project yourself onto the player. I mean, so the player can project themselves onto the character,
Yeah.
Although I have to say that I think Skyrim did a very poor job with making you feel connected to the world, I think, through your character, that is. I never felt like my character was, even though he was supposed to be the most important person in the world, I never felt like that.
Yeah.
So even with custom characters, you can still like mess that up if you don't like tether yourself to the world, I think. But
That's kind of good though. I mean, in Skyrim, not this relates to the topic, but in Skyrim, I think it's good that you're not constantly reminded that like people aren't like telling you all the time like, oh, Dragonborn, like it's your destiny to save the world like every time you go into a town.
But at the same time, a guard will kill you if you steal a sweet roll, and then the fate of the world is
chicken.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, how dare you steal a sweet roll? Now I'm gonna doom the world by killing you.
Or put it. You're in like he's just in jail, and meanwhile Anduin or
Alduin is just running around, like stealing
Alduin
everyone's souls.
burning everything.
I thought you were gonna say sweet rolls again.
Stealing
sweet
everyone's
rolls are
sweet
important.
rolls.
Yeah, there's a lot of mods that you can do to Skyrim, like to change all that up. Like there's like respectful guards,
Okay, that's interesting. I wish they would have thought of that, but
yeah, it just like takes out all the disrespectful audio depending on your position in Skyrim. So if you're like the Thane of this one holding, you can like have the guards be more respectful and say Thane after everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
Cool.
Yeah, there's multiple. You sounded so. I don't know.
Oh no, I was actually saying cool. That's just what I sound like sometimes.
You're just like cool.
How do we feel about like? I don't think we should know everything about a character either. I'll say one thing that Skyrim did right is that you have no clue why that you're like on that prison wagon, so you kind of have to make it up. So that's a little different because you never find out why because you're not supposed to.
Projection.
lot. Yeah.
Projection makes a good protagonist.
What? What do you mean projection?
Like you can, I don't know. Never mind. I shouldn't have said that. Projection makes a good protagonist in the sense that you can put yourself into that character and see what you're gonna do, think of what you're gonna do next. You know.
Well, I meant more along the lines of like with a developed character, having like, do you want to be able to know everything about that character from the start, or
you shouldn't be able.
I think it's better to be able to learn about your character's things progress and like maybe have like their flaw or secret hidden for a while and make you wonder what it is until you finally find it out.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a protagonist that just has like really. I know they exist, but I can't think of like people who just like mind blowing things are revealed later about them. I cannot think of it though. Like I know they exist.
I know, yeah. It's
so that's good.
Dead Space. Dead Space is one, I think, maybe. I mean, since you find out that he's kind of like crazy the whole time and kind of doing the bad thing, and he didn't even know.
God damn it! I never got to play Dead Space.
Crap. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I don't really care about spoilers.
We'll put a spoiler alert before that. Spoiler alert for Dead Space, and like we can have like I'll put a thing to that you can skip it, but anyway.
Okay, 5 minutes left. Come on.
Yeah. So, but why'd you do that? Now I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh god, what?
Come on, chirp in your ideas real quick.
Okay, so we know that they don't need to be a good guy necessarily. They don't need to be a hero in order to be a good protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know what else. What do you guys like to see in protagonists? Like not just, you don't have to generalize it to one like key rule, but what do you like to see in them?
I like to see someone who can lose in the situation that they're in, but like the skill of the player makes them win. So that's kind of just a game mechanic, but like,
yeah,
I don't like how
Dead's
just destroys everything, and then Master Chief, like it's actually very possible to die in every encounter, so that's just fun to me.
Yeah, I don't
just
like
winning,
sorry,
not being invincible.
Yeah. I don't like Dead Rising just because like all the cutscenes, people are like running away from the zombies, like zombies are killing people, and then like the minute you get into gameplay, like you're just like eviscerating zombies like hundreds at a time,
Right. There's like a fear in cutscenes that doesn't correlate to gameplay.
Yeah, it's like you can make giant like dildo weapons that kill like thousands of these things. Why do you care?
That game has its charm for like 5 minutes, in my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy Dead Rising.
I actually like the villains better than the actual heroes, because the heroes were flat assholes. I mean, flat ass. We're just like flat, unengaging assholes. That's what I meant to say.
Roast.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another good one. Like, no, I don't know if I want to get into good villains because that's a whole different world.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's not get into that this time. But
maybe hint for the next podcast.
Wink.
Bowser.
We're just like Bowser, Ridley,
Ganondorf. I said Gandalf.
We're done. Gandalf.
Bowser's kind of shallow though.
Huh?
Not to start a whole thing about it. I just think Bowser's kind of shallow. Bowser's like a shallow character.
I think that's because I've always viewed Mario as being like the acting troupe kind of thing. Ever since Super Mario Bros. 3, where they were on a stage, I'm like, and they play games all the time with one another. I'm pretty sure that they just kind of chill, and they're just like, let's put on a show for today where Bowser steals the princess, and then they're like, hey, let's hang out and play golf. So, I've always viewed them as an acting troupe as opposed to being like a canon storyline.
I think it's just the genre. Like, no one really plays Mario for like intense story. It's just like a format for them to reuse.
Yeah, it's like a theme or a skin,
Although Sunshine and Galaxy both had really good stories, I think.
Sunshine and Galaxy are like the lowest selling titles on the list.
Well,
I love those so much.
Super Mario I can't say Sunshine. Like
Sunshine?
Yeah. Super Mario Sunshine did not sell well, I remember.
Maybe that's true. I don't know. I think a lot of people...
I think it was a niche group.
Yeah, since it was coming along later in the GameCube's lifetime, and everyone was upset that it wasn't a launch title. So, I don't know. But...
Alright, so I think that's our 30 minutes, guys.
Yeah, I'm glad we finished up with a tangent.
Yeah.
But I think we had some good ideas about, like, you know, what's important for our protagonist. I'd like to go a little more in depth in the future in like a video or something maybe, but I think for now we've hit the key points.
And we didn't spend 35 minutes on the top 5. So
Yeah. Oh guys, god damn it.
What?
I didn't record.
You didn't record?
Ha, got you.
Yeah, I did. I was waiting for it. I was like, I don't believe you.
Yeah, all right.
I was like, nope.
All right.
I can see your dark anime girl guy eyes staring into my soul.
I was gonna take the blame for not recording also, which I should be doing.
Yeah.
I need to learn how to.
Yeah.
One of these days I need to learn how to record.
But anyway, thanks for listening, guys.
Yep. We love all of you. I hope you like the new format. Let us know what you think.
Love you. All right.
Oh wait, I think I talked over Joe.
Should we do a word for today?
A word.
Remember the ending word? But.
Yeah, that's just but. Just
that's
but.
it.
And that's the word. See you guys later.
Bye, guys. What is this that you are telling us to look?
No, click the link.
I did. It was Sonic Boom.
Yeah, no, in the related images, there's one with like a parrot. There's a parody picture.
Where is it? I can't find it. Tails looks normal.
Yeah.
Sonic. What the fuck is this? Whose idea was
Look
this?
at Amy.
Yeah.
Whose body is that? On Knuckles.
I think that's God, what's his name? I can't remember the name of the wrestler.
It's Sonic. Is Sonic Ratchet from Ratchet and Clank?
Knuckles is probably.
Oh no, I thought he was holding the.
No, that's Tails.
Yeah. Like, what is happening here? Is he Elvis?
I don't know.
I think he might be Elvis.
Is he wearing? I have to save that image.
He's wearing like a jacket and then sunglasses. And Amy's naked. And Knuckles, it looks horrifying.
I think it's better than the actual original model.
I would play that game.
I just realized that Sonic Boom is like just a phrase, and if you go down, you can see like jets breaking the sound barrier.
Sonic Boom.
I
All right.
just completely forgot about that.
Shit.